What's good, YouTube? Andre here with the DM Network. Y'all, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Help us out. Our goal is to reach 10,000 subscribers, and that is not possible without your help. We upload 7 days a week, so don't forget to turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss a single upload. Also, you can follow us on Twitter to get notifications there as well, because sometimes YouTube is a little wonky. It's at Dmgaming 5, and that's the number 5. Now, on with the video. So, the next topic of discussion comes from Rehan Gaming, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And y'all, I do these in the order that I get them. So, if you have a topic that you would like us to discuss, just comment down below, and I'll make a note of it. You get the shout out, and we'll talk about that topic. But what he said was, first of all, he asked the question: do you think we're going to get more information when the next V-Jump leak comes out? And how would boss battles work? So in today's video, I'm going to answer that question, and I'm going to talk about how boss battles could potentially work, or how I would like for them to. But first of all, as far as the information from V-Jump, I believe that's when we'll get our next bit of information from the game. Is going to be in V-Jump. I wouldn't necessarily call it a leak, because V-Jump is a publicized it's publicized media. It's not anything that's kept secret or anything like that. But with CC2 being in Japan, Bandai Namco's main headquarters in Japan, it's a good point that we may get some more screenshots and stuff like that. We may even get a release date. That announcement stuff could come from V-Jump, and then once Bandai puts out an actual trailer or the gameplay trailer, because this one was the announcement. This is the gameplay trailer. Generally, they release the release date with the gameplay trailer, but I don't know. I could even see them doing some kind of live stream to talk more about the game, as well as reveal the title for the game. I don't know, but the gameplay trailer will more than likely have the title, as well as the release date. And what's interesting is it's kind of been a little bit, you think they would have released at least the title by now. But like I told you, they've been doing a big marketing ploy to get Jump Force out. And y'all, I'm currently playing Jump Force, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving every bit of it. And what's crazy is I've only been playing with Goku, Vegeta, my created character, a little bit of Cell, a little bit of Trunks, and I haven't even played with Frieza yet. I haven't even touched the other anime characters yet. And so the game, for me, it's gonna stay fresh for a while. Now, there's a lot of people who don't like it, saying that the game is not good, saying that the game is trash and stuff like that, talking about the story. I mean, if you remember, Jump Force is the next rendition of J-Stars. It was never known for its story. It was just known for its fighting. And it's not a true fighter at that. It's not like Dragon Ball Fighters. It's not like Street Fighter, Soul Calibur, Mortal Kombat. It's an anime fighting game. It's meant to just be kind of fun. It's meant to be easy enough for a beginner to pick up and play it and have fun with it. But there are some skill elements in the game that if you practice it hard enough, that you can become a very skilled fighter. Now, will we see these games being played at tournament events? Probably not, because it's just not that strategic of a fighter. But I don't understand what people's problems is. I think people's expectations were too high. I mean, when I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. I knew how J-Stars was. I knew exactly what I was going to be getting. And I was actually happy to get that, because me personally, I mean, I like fighting games, but I'm not into the hardcore fighters. I like to be able to pull off nice, easy combos that have good elements of effect and stuff like that, as well as a little bit of strategy. So if you haven't played Jump Force, check it out. I mean, with the way that some people feel about it, there will probably be some pre-owned copies here out there in a little bit or whatever, but check it out. It's a fun game. Just know going into it, just have fun with it. And I got a video coming up about that, y'all, because Jump Force reminds me a lot about Xenoverse. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, I think that we'll get more information now that Jump Force has released. You also have One Piece coming out, One Piece World Seeker coming out next month in March. So I'm thinking, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that with the next edition of V Jump, that we will have maybe a few more details on Dragon Ball Project Z. I believe that we'll probably will in the next edition of V Jump because it's time for them to start rolling out information about the game, even if it is a little bit every month or something to that effect until E3 comes, where we'll have a full on visual demo of sorts. Not saying a downloadable demo for us to play, but be able to see some actual live gameplay of the game. So that's that. Now, boss battles. How will boss battles work in this game? That really depends on a couple of different factors. The same factors that everything that we talk about cringes and hangs upon. And that's if the game is going to be single player based or if the game is going to be multiplayer based. If the game is multiplayer based, then you could probably expect boss battles, if you're able to do co-op at that, to be similar to Dragon Ball Xenoverse's boss battles, where you got this big creature and you're just sitting there with your characters fighting against this guy. Now, what I would prefer the boss battles to be I would have to say probably I'm gonna have to go with probably Ultimate Tenkaichi. Just being in all out seriousness. Um because well, I don't know. Let's mix. I would like a good mix of Ultimate Tenkaichi and Xenoverse as far as Dragon Ball games. However, my favorite boss battles for video games has to be God of War. And I know that has nothing to do with Bandai, it has nothing to do with CyberConnect 2, but we do know that video game developers tend to draw inspiration from one another. And if they wanted to make the best boss battles in a video game, especially in Dragon Ball, because boss battles, they have to be done right. Boss battles have to have a level of challenge and skill. Now, one thing that I dislike about most boss battles, especially when you're fighting like the Ozarus, is they tend to do the same actions over and over, and you have to find that pattern and then dismiss that pattern and fight. I don't want that. I want just as much randomness in a boss battle as you would get from playing an online opponent or a AI opponent. But God of War's boss battles to me are awesome because there's skill involved with it. There is some rhythm involved in it. But the quick time events and things like that are done so nicely in the game, as well as scaling of the boss battle compared to the opponent. Now, the only giants that we would face in this game would be the Ozarus with Goku. I mean, not Goku, sorry, Vegeta and maybe Nappa. I don't think they fought Nappa. Yeah, Nappa. No, it wasn't Nappa. It wasn't Nappa. Vegeta. I know Vegeta. They fought against Ozaru Vegeta in the anime. That to me would be the best bet. And then I mean, if you go into the movie sagas, I think what was his name, Harudagon, uh, him also Janemba in before he turned into the red Janemba when he was the big puffy Janemba. You know, if they decide to go movie character route, also Broly. Broly was a big guy as well. So, but other than that, all the other boss battles were, same size characters and stuff like that. So I would like for the boss battles to be more um less predictable. I mean, it is cool. Goku always finds a way to defeat his enemies. He always finds a weakness to exploit. So that part I think should be left in the game, but I don't want the boss battles to be these just full of quick time events. I do want some open fighting. I do want quick time events. I think those are really cool, and it's a really cool way, if done right, to add a cinematic into the game. You know, for some of those iconic things. But as far as like say Goku and Vegeta when they did the beam clash, I want to be able to control my beam clash. I don't want it to be just a quick time event, maybe a button tap or something like that. I want to be involved in it. And I think if they do boss battles, that they do have those cinematics in there, that they would put in some quick time events and some button presses and stuff like that, just to get you involved and make you feel like you're a part of that event as opposed to sitting back watching a cinematic cutscene. And one game that CyberConnect 2 has done that, in my opinion, is really good with that is the Naruto boss battles, as well as, and this is a throwback to PlayStation 3, Asura's Wrath, if I'm pronouncing that right. That game was pretty fun, y'all. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. If you're on the PlayStation, y'all, go to PlayStation Now, and there's a 7-day free trial. And if your internet is strong enough and good enough, then you get a 7-day free trial and you can check out that game, Asura's Wrath, as well as other titles. And this game isn't, I mean, this video isn't sponsored by PlayStation or Bandai. I wish it was, but it's not. But go check it out. But just don't forget, before your 7 days is over, to cancel your auto renew within your settings on your PlayStation. Otherwise, you'll be charged like $20. But anyway, Asura's Wrath had good boss battles. CyberConnect 2 has done a great job with their boss battles in the Naruto games. And that's something that I look forward to, because when I played the Ninja Storm series, doing the boss battles, it was fun. It was engaging. I felt, even though they had the cutscenes showing stuff, CyberConnect 2 did an awesome, perfectly job, in my opinion, of making you feel as though you're not just sitting there watching this unfold, but that you're a part of the action. Not only that, but they gave you a certain star rating based off of how well you timed the button presses and the quick time events and things like that. And it didn't feel like the whole boss battle was just purely quick timed events. And that's really important, because I don't want to just, oh, we're fighting a boss battle and it's just all quick time events. I don't really want that. And that's why I point to the God of War thing, because in God of War, you had to damage them to a certain degree. And then after that, yeah, you had to essentially initiate a quick time event. But like I said, CyberConnect 2 is in control of this, and I'm very happy with what they did with the boss battles in the Naruto series. I'm happy with the boss battles that they did in Asura's Wrath and stuff like that. And I hope that they would draw some inspiration from God of War, you know, kind of look at the boss battles done there. But I think that the boss battles will be fun in the game. I hope that they're very engaging, and I hope there is some level of difficulty to it, you know, depending on how well you train. You know, that's my biggest thing. If we can get training the way that we want training in the game, that could be an issue. I mean, because then you could technically just breeze by a boss battle, or, you know, that's my question. I want to pose a question. I was supposed to question at the end of the video. This is my question here. If we have training the way that we have it, in the way that we want to have it in the game, where your power level matter and you can train and get as strong as you want, should the bosses scale to your power level to maintain difficulty? Because if not, then you'll just blow through the entire game. You can just spend your whole time training and just blow through the boss fights. So what I would like is that, yes, the bosses, the main enemies, will scale to your power level. However, the normal fights, the NPCs that you may fight in the game, if they're in there throughout the world, won't scale to that. So you could breeze through them. I don't know, man. That's very interesting. And that may be why they do the whole power scaling thing in the game, is to keep us from being overpowered and just breezing through the game. So let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Appreciate y'all for watching. Till next time, peace.